It's been an unbelievable day of baseball here in Duluth, Minnesota, as the Wilmer Stingers end up taking this one over the Duluth Huskies by a final score of 7-5. With that, we welcome you into the Crow's Nest here at Wade Stadium. Joined alongside Cal Friedman, I'm Max Stapleton. And Cal, this was a great game of baseball. We saw a grand slam, saw a bunch of great fielding plays, 2 home runs total. What stood out to you about this game?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game of baseball between these two teams. The thing that stood out had to be the hitting. Of course, you saw those 2 home runs, the grand slam hit by Joe Voss, which we'll see in a second, but also the extra base hit potential between these two teams. Wilmer with 5 doubles today. The Huskies also able to record a couple of doubles in this contest. Ultimately, a game where the Huskies left runners on early, and they couldn't quite make it up later on.
Huskies did leave runners on early. They couldn't make it up at the end of the game. Let's recap the entire game with you with some highlights today here on the Huskies postgame show. Starting off in the top of the second, Terrell lines that one into left field over the shortstop's head. Makes it a 1-0 ball game with that RBI single. Stingers get on the board first.
Quiet part of this game was how good the defense was. How about Jeremy Keller gunning it over to third base? Hodo trying to steal for third. He's thrown out there.
Grayson Tarlow smacks that one deep into left field. One of the hottest hitters in all of baseball right now. Makes it a 2-0 game with that solo shot.
But out of absolutely nothing, the Huskies were able to respond to that home run by Tarlow, who extended his RBI streak to 7 with a home run of their own. Joe Voss, the hometown hero, with his first home run of the season. It's a grand slam. It put the Huskies in front by 2, and it gave them a sizable lead going into the final couple innings.
Look at the emotion on Joe Voss's face right there, rounding the bases. He is pumped up for this Huskies team. But we knew that 2 runs wasn't going to be enough. This Wilmer Stingers team is just too good offensively to be held down. In the top of the 6th inning, Dre Dirksen hits this double into left field. Really nice job of scooping that one. J.D. Rogers almost has a play on it. Can't come up with it. All of a sudden, it's a 1-run game. Huskies clinging on to that 1-run lead.
Yeah, Dirksen showing off that all-star potential there. How about the defense being played in this game? This one goes 4-6-3. We saw some big double plays later on in this game.
In the very next inning, top of the 7th, this time Corbin hits an RBI single into left field, ties the game for the Stingers by 4-4, followed up by a Walls sacrifice fly deep into left field. No chance for J.D. Rogers. All 3 runners actually moved up a base on that play. How often do you see that?
Well, we talked about the extra base hit potential, and Dre Dirksen got one left right over the heart of the plate and cannoned one to left field, building the Stingers' lead to 3. What an afternoon it was for him.
The Huskies showed a lot of fight in this game. Eddie Satiski with the bases loaded, lined a single into left field to score a run. Everyone moved up station to station, but they couldn't capitalize on that. Final out of the game, a big hit right back to the pitcher, Brian Baker. Throws it on to first in time. And at the end of the day, the Wilmer Stingers ended up taking this one by a score of 7-5 over the Duluth Huskies. Overall on the day, it was a really good back-and-forth baseball game. J.D. Rogers, we highlighted him in the pregame show. He had a pretty good day for the Huskies.
Yeah, another multi-hit game for Rogers. Remember, he had 8 in the first half of the season, now 9 here in the second half, doing a really nice job in that 2 spot. He and Jonathan Vastine, the 2 Vanderbilt Commodores, are going to be so important for this Huskies team going into the playoffs. If you can get those 2 going at the right time, which what seems to be going right now, it can be only good things for Marcus Pointer and the Huskies.
On the other side of things, from the starting pitcher side of things, Drew Kahn, relatively new Husky, only his second start of the season, went 5 2/3 innings, giving up 3 earned runs. Really good day for him. He looks solid to start off this Duluth career.
Yeah, he was really good. He gave up 3 runs on 6 hits over 5 2/3 plus. But against this talent of this Wilmer lineup, that's really a testament to how good that Wilmer have been this season. The only knock that you can give on Kahn is that he used a lot of his pitches early, didn't allow him to go as far into this game as he would hope for, but he threw 4 1/3 in his first start. He moves past that. Gradual improvement right now for Drew Kahn, someone who looks like who can be a very capable starter going into the playoffs.
Drew Kahn and the rest of the Huskies bullpen held the Stingers to 7 runs. You might be saying to yourself, 7 runs is not holding a team down per se, but when a team over the last 5 games coming into today, averaging over 16 runs per game, I think the pitching did a pretty good job overall. Huskies end up losing this one, a tough game to lose, but they're right back at it tomorrow. What do they need to change heading into tomorrow's game?
Yeah, it'll be a really interesting game because for the Huskies and the Stingers, first time all season that the road team's been able to win. Keep in mind, first time these 2 met, Huskies swept them at Wade Stadium. Next time in June, the Stingers able to record the sweep at Bill Taunton Stadium. Overall for Duluth, it just has to be limiting those runners left on base. They left runners on second and third in the first and third innings, I should say, left the bases loaded in the seventh despite getting a run across. If you get a couple of hits in those situations, talk about a very different ball game. Wilmer came through in those situations. They got the bases loaded in the seventh. They scored 4 runs. Husk got the bases loaded in the seventh. They scored 1 run. That was the biggest difference today.
It's going to be a matinee battle tomorrow between the Wilmer Stingers and the Duluth Huskies. Let's give you the final lines one more time today on today's game. For the Wilmer Stingers, 7 runs on 12 hits, 1 error, 8 men left on base. For the Huskies, 5 runs on 13 hits, 1 error, and 9 men left on base. Seth Miller, the starter, gets his first win of the season. He's 1-0 as his ERA drops to 5.11. Caden Edwards takes the loss today, 1-2 on the season, while Brian Baker for the Stingers gets his second save of the season. It was a great game today. Unfortunate the Huskies couldn't win, but they'll be right back at it tomorrow for a Game 2 against the Stingers. Until then, we say have a good night, everybody.